With the artifact secure, you need to wait for transport at Backwater Station before you can leave Marsara. Transportation is on the way. Caution is advised. Dominion security forces may succeed in tracking the artifact to the station.
I've got transport coming to pick us up. All we gotta do is sit tight.
Don't sound too hard. I figure we earned ourselves a little R&R.
Commander, I'm detecting a massive concentration of Zerg biosignatures landing at the abandoned dig site.
I should have known it. Damn you,
I
Tychus.
swear, man, I didn't know nothing about no Zerg.
Given their current course, the Zerg will overrun this location within the hour.
Hell, we gotta hold out long enough for extraction. If we man the bunkers and hold those two bridges as long as we can, we just might stand a chance. We're gonna have a real fight on our hands here.
I've been in plenty of holdouts before.
Not against the Zerg, you ain't.
Alright, so once again, we're going to max out our SCVs. We want barracks rolling. You can beat this mission with 3 barracks pretty easily. Unless you're going for the no salvage camp mission, there's really no reason in not destroying all of this. Reason we destroy those is it keeps the Zerg from clumping up on them. They'll come in one at a time. It'll make a Congo line of Zerg, which is a lot easier to take out than
Add-on complete.
a group of Zerglings.
You scared me.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
SCV ready.
We want to get our upgrades as soon as possible. You could technically start them right off the bat. I don't think it's necessary. I think you're better off getting troops
Lock and load.
and getting your add-ons for your
Vespine
barracks.
gas.
The doctor is in.
Move it.
This is like the first mission. It's actually going to be a challenge to keep up on supply depots because you're going to be running off of 3 barracks, and you really want to keep those 3 barracks pumping. I do 2 reactor, 1 tech lab. That way you get 1 medic for every 4 Marines, give or take.
To anyone hearing this message, we're pinned down near Backwater Station. Please assist.
We'll wait for these 2 Marines to pop out, and then we should be able to go take that.
SCV ready.
We can actually empty
Add-on
this
complete.
bunker too. Give ourselves a couple extra Marines.
You rang?
This is really just for the bonus objective because it's not actually worth it. You only get 5 Marines, and generally you'll lose more than that.
This better be good. Why not?
Maybe not. We might be able to get up in here without losing anyone. Yeah, we're good.
Thought we were gunners there.
Alright, so now we have some minerals and some gas spare that we can use on upgrades. That's when we're going to get our attack upgrade first, always.
Armed and ready.
The only time it's worth getting armor upgrades is if you're really good at doing the attack move. You can never actually stagger step your Marines as fast as they can fire, so armor upgrade is more worth it sometimes.
SCV ready.
Additional.
So if you're stagger stepping a lot,
Not enough minerals.
armor upgrades can be worth it, particularly the armor upgrades from your research when we get the lab.
The doctor is in.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Next up, we want to max out our base.
Not enough minerals.
Make sure we get up to a full count of SCVs.
I can't build here. SCV
Make sure we're
ready.
constantly building a supply depot. It's almost not even a bad idea to throw an SCV on a control group and just have them constantly building.
Bad news. What's
The next
going
attack
on?
of Mutalisks is going to come in from the side, so we're going to want to put
In the rear.
some anti-air turrets up on the sides, like so.
SCV ready. Big job, huh?
Also, not a bad idea to you can actually destroy these lights. And the reason you want to do that is because you can then build a bunker in their place, and that'll help wipe out some more of the Zerg before they can get up onto your base level.
Mayday, mayday! We're trapped by the Zerg! They're burrowed all around us! If you can reach us, please help! Yes, sir!
So once again, we will go rescue them.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Eventually, you'll want to put an SCV,
Bad news?
actually a few SCVs up front to repair these bunkers. We'll wait on that attack. That's not worth going out on.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Yeah, we'll go push out. Now these guys are surrounded by burrowed Zerg all over the place, so we're gonna go ahead and clear those guys out.
Will do. Yes, sir. Better be good.
They also have a bunch over here, which is why you don't want to just wrap around with your first set.
For sore eyes. Hold up, we're coming.
So as you can see, we maxed out our supply again. We're gonna go ahead and build 2 of these guys. What's going on, Real Rhyme? Let me do something real quick. We're gonna turn our chat box on so that anyone watching this video later can understand what's happening.
Yep. Armed and you gonna give me orders? Affirmative. Go, go, go.
Alright, we got all our upgrades on the way.
In the rear with the gear.
At this point, we now have our base almost entirely maxed out. We're gonna keep building SCVs though.
Going on?
Yeah, I'm doing a walkthrough for YouTube right now. Trying to give people an idea of how to do it, but my YouTube is all real-time strategy campaigns on the hardest difficulty, and this just happens to be one of the ones that I've played the most of. Alright, we want another SCV up at either of these.
SCV ready. Go, go, go.
The doctor is in.
Armed and ready.
And I'm gonna go ahead and build another
Big job.
turret on either side, just because I know that they come in strong. Another thing that's worth doing is putting a bunker right here, because they will start dropping Zerglings into your base.
Bad news. SCV ready. Ah, you scared me.
There's the guys I was telling you about. Both sides get attacked. Looks like we lost an SCV up here, so we'll send a spare one.
Well,
Yeah, he's in a bad spot.
Big job. Go ahead. What's going on?
Keep at it, boys. The ride's on its way.
Huh?
Alright,
Gotcha.
we're about to get another set of units. These guys are going to attack. We're going to get a unit call out for help up there.
Not enough
We're going
minerals.
to take 4 of these guys.
Gangway coming through. You gonna give me? Who wants some?
Not enough minerals.
No, probably not. I probably should be putting up more medics as well at this point. But there's no point in pulling them from gas.
Immediate support. Hostiles all around us.
I'm not going to run out of minerals or gas at this point. I'm pretty much going to be at 200.
Gangway coming through. You got it. Will do.
The doctor is in.
Of course. Sure. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
I would rather have more backed up gas than not enough, because at some point all of my medics will likely die.
Base is under
Thanks for the assist. We're with you, Rainer.
We're gonna go wipe out some hatcheries as well.
By the numbers. This better be armed and ready.
The doctor is in.
Who wants some? You think this better be good.
We're actually gonna set this to control group 1
You better send some
so that
backup.
I'm not calling down all of the freshly building
The
units.
doctor is in.
Armed and ready. Keep your shirt on.
There's usually a pretty good odds of losing everything because at some point in this mission they just start dropping banelings all over you.
The doctor is in.
Armed and ready.
These guys aren't part of group 1. I don't.
Been waiting on.
One of the worst things you can do to yourself in this game is get in the habit of clicking F2 to select all. I'd recommend anyone who doesn't already use it frequently just unbind it.
Orders received.
Anyway, the reason we want to go up here isn't actually for the achievement. It's the level 80 Terran Space Marine,
Sure thing.
which then we can send to space in this porta potty
Armed and ready.
just for fun.
Keep your shirt
The
on.
doctor
Base is under attack.
Out here. Been waiting on you. Got it. Can't wait. I feel you.
Yeah, we had only built 4 medics when we were sitting at 900 gas. That was actually a mistake on my part. I generally like to have a few more medics than that.
Sparky.
The doctor is in.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of ways to get the bonus objectives though in this, the bonus or the achievements.
In the rear.
One of the easier ways to do the hatchery objective is to just sit up there and keep destroying the same hatchery over and over
Mineral field depleted.
because they will just keep rebuilding it.
Affirmative. Why not?
Yeah, that was poorly done on my part. I'm not a Terran player, so splitting against banelings is not my forte.
We'll be getting out of here soon.
Not enough.
Yeah. If you're a little better than I am, you can focus down the banelings.
Not enough minerals.
I'm diamond with Zerg, but I'm probably about silver with Terran.
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Not enough.
You better send some body bags.
Yeah.
Mineral field depleted.
The doctor is in.
Oh yeah. Keep your shirt on, Sparky. Aye, aye, sir.
It's alright though.
This better be.
We'll still survive this. We just need to
Not enough.
rebuild our army a little bit.
Minerals.
That's fine.
The doctor is in.
Not
Life
enough
gets rough
minerals.
when you don't pay attention to your army, clearly.
What's going on? Big job, huh? Boy. Go ahead. Bandit. In the rear with the
The
gear.
doctor is in.
But as promised, we lost all our medics at some point.
This better be good.
Knew that was coming. I guess I want to max this out. I want constant income from these.
In the rear with the. Ah! You scared me.
The doctor is in.
Usually I'll use the units the mission gave me with a mix of Marines and medics and Marauders. I try not to do just constant Marine medic Marauder because it's really,
Not enough
it's
minerals.
just not great for every single mission. The early
Not enough
missions for
minerals.
sure, and all of the colonist missions it's really good for. But most of the missions you'll see me use the
Not
units you get
enough minerals.
on the missions.
Base
The
is
doctor
under
is in.
attack.
You want a piece of me, boy?
So yeah, that's where that little bunker comes in.
Base is under attack. Not enough minerals.
You can always build one down by your supply depots, but if you don't play for, you know, some of the flashier stuff like getting the secret mission and the hatcheries, which you can definitely do the hatcheries. If you're gonna do the hatcheries, I recommend pushing up into this base first with a small detachment of Marines and killing off all the banelings.
The doctor is in.
At this point, we're sitting on a bunch like a ton of Nidus worms all over the map that are just constantly spitting out enemies. Nidus worms are the only thing in this game that give the enemy free units, and
Commander, this is Matt Horner. Just
it's a bit annoying, but
on the way.
we'll also be fine.
No rush.
The big reason I don't fully block this off is because then units will get up in here and you can't push out at all. You can't keep them at bay. And if you get Zerglings constantly sitting on these bunkers, then they can constantly attack the side bunkers and you will start to lose those much earlier.
Not enough luminance.
Alright, so that's the win. This mission can get a little stressful just because at like that point in the game you're basically constantly under attack, and if you haven't built up a reasonable army and gotten your upgrades, you can find yourself in a really bad spot really quickly. But as you can see, I mean, we have pretty much our whole base is held up. We lost one bunker.
Anyone still alive down there?
And with the bunker that we have down on the bottom right by our base,
Made it in time, sir.
it keeps a lot of the Zerglings that would be in behind you at bay. So yeah, we didn't destroy enough hatcheries, but you can clear that whole map if you don't lose a bunch of units.
Damn, Jimmy. You've been holding out on me.
Cutting it pretty close there, Matt.
Never left you hanging before, sir.
Fair enough. Just get us the hell out of here.
All batteries, concentrate forward firepower. Spin up drives 2 and 6. All hands brace for warp jump on my mark. Mark.
What the hell happened? We ain't seen the Zerg in years. Why attack Marsara now?
It's not just Marsara. You need to see this.
Zerg Swarm launched a full-scale attack.
Devastation spread throughout all Outer Rim planets. Sustained heavy losses.
Casualties in the billions.
Minutes ago, the Zerg attacked a Dominion military research facility.
Sweet mother of mercy.
New exclusive video footage confirms the Queen of Blades is in fact leading the swarm.
High definition gameplay. I assume what you mean by barracks cheese is like create a one space gap to let the front line through so that they come through smaller at a time. And no, I don't really use the cheeses.
She's come to finish the job.
I like the missions, so I don't know. I try to play them as straightforward as possible. There's definitely some cheesy strats I've used, but I try to avoid most of them.
There's no telling what the Zerg will throw against us this time. Sir, we need to make sure our hardware and munitions are up to the challenge.
Yeah, I'll check in with Swan down the armory. Knowing him, he's already got upgrades for us.
I hate to ask, sir, but is there a reason that convict's still on my bridge?
Easy, Matt. Tychus is one of my oldest friends. He helped me out of a real bind a few years back. I owe him.
Well, your friend has a criminal record as long as...
Mine? Believe me, if Tychus Finley wanted me dead, I'd be dead already.
Understood, sir.
Never really thought too much about it, but yeah, Tychus could have killed him as soon as he walked in the bar.
Hey, everybody.
I'll go ahead and leave these parts into the video just so that anyone who wants to know what I upgrade can see it.
What do you got for me, Swan?
The usual, building up our standing forces.
Bringing my troops and hardware up to speed, huh?
Yup, you can add upgrades for their tech right here on the console. But building an army on the run ain't cheap. You brought back credits this time, right?
Look, I know money's been tight, but that artifact we just picked up from Marsara is gonna solve everything.
Yeah, I've heard that before, brother.
It's different this time.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
Well, that one artifact is definitely not going to solve everything, but we're going to get a lot solved. So I actually like both of the bunker upgrades, but they're not useful in particular for the next mission we're going to do. I don't like getting stim before I get combat shields. This is usually, there's always a decision I make here. I never know what I'm going to actually do until I do it. A lot of times I'll get stim and then additional slots in the bunkers. But since we're probably not going to use bunkers for the next mission, we're either going to go with tech lab production or combat shields. I think the next mission is going to be most useful for this. So that changes based on what mission I plan on doing next. But this one we're going to go as close to the cannon as possible. Even though there is no real cannon, I'm going to go with what I think Jim Raynor would choose, so that's going to be the order of our missions.